Yo, 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 Froggystyles here. We're about to get into Power Hour here, the last 30 minutes of it, and see what's going on with the stock market. So you want to open things up, Mediocre?
Yeah, how's everybody doing today? What's going on, everybody? We're just hanging out. Gonna go over some technical analysis, some news, some stuff like that. A lot of stuff going on. Kind of weird stuff happening in the market. Some FUD stuff and just stupid stuff. But how's everybody doing, anyways? Besides that, anybody in the chat yet? I know it takes you guys a couple minutes to get in.
Yeah, give me a second. I got to make sure I bought calls and not puts.
Oh boy, that would not be no good.
Just making sure, because
I've done that too. When you're in a hurry, not paying attention.
All right,
What's up, Weston W? What's up, Jay?
What's going on, Weston? How you doing, man? Jay Portuguese, how you doing? Blaker Family Firearms, how you doing? And Miss Harris, welcome.
Froggy, give me 1 second, all right, buddy?
Yeah, I'm about to pull up my chart here. So one of the trades I just did it a little bit early. I should have probably waited. I jumped into DWAC. What I'm looking at here is this little wedge is coming up. We're kind of coming off the bottom here. We got like a nice double touch over here, and just basically expecting it to go into a gold cross, popping up and breaking out. It's way oversold, so I decided to go and buy into it. There's the second dip. That's exactly what I like to see, is two dips and then a wedge breakout, which is right here. And I'm expecting to break out and possibly pop all the way back up here to 73 or make an attempt at it. But not sure if it's going to get there. We'll find out. Oh, yeah, I should probably post this over on Facebook. Give me a second here.
Yeah, DWAC, baby.
I was playing with Max Payne a little bit today, and I noticed everything kind of fell into place. All I did was I put the Max Payne information out there, and it fell right in line with Max Payne today. So I can't really say that that I was shocked that the prices went down, because that's what Max Payne showed. But it went down there kind of quick, because I posted it yesterday what I thought Max Payne was. Let me get this all posted over here.
When you get a second, Weston wants to look at ATER. It dropped 2K, he says.
He dropped 2K? Oh, I got smashed. 20%. Well, wow. This is just a classic case of it was on a trend line, 1, 2, 3. Usually after the third one, you get what you get at that point. So usually it doesn't do 4. That one did do a fourth one. Usually it goes back up and double touches, and then it basically goes into like a flag or something like that before going back into continuance. I mean, they broke over and just got hit. So not sure how much further it's going to go down at this point. You do got support way down here. Judging by this blue line here, that might be the end of the road, 435. Right now you're at the warning track, which is, 457. So it should be about done getting beat. I mean, that's bad. But like I said, you already had a run up, 1, 2, 3. There's your 3 triangles. And then you go into the next trend. And like I said, this one here, even though it made a newer high, obviously it wasn't meant to be there. So it quickly corrected, came back down, and then failed. So That's pretty much it. Now you're in a downtrend. This actually wouldn't be too bad of a one to pick up right about now, I think. Kind of wish I would have seen this one. I would have bought it maybe over DWAC.
Yeah.
Let me check Max Payne and see where it's looking at going.
Big Ads is asking about DWAC, so we'll talk about that one again after. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, they're trying to keep it under $5, but that brings in the puts. If they bring it back over 5 by Friday, you're going to get a little gamma ramp for Monday, Tuesday. So keep an eye on what they're doing. Obviously, they're not going to want it to be above 6 because there's a bunch of calls sitting up there. But right now they're teasing those puts by going underneath the puts. Most likely it's going to finish above 5 on the week. And then you'll get that little mini gamma ramp for Monday, Tuesday. But we'll have to see how it plays out. But it's definitely oversold.
Good afternoon, everyone. Froggy, can you make Bobby a co-host as well? Because I'm going to do the chat too. And that way it's easier when he's the co-host with me.
Yep. Was my little speaker not working there? Oh, let me turn that thing off real quick and turn it back on. It acts up sometimes. It doesn't want to Bluetooth in right. There we go. Let me pull up DWAC next because I just entered that one. Like you can see right here, long-term, like a lot longer wedge. Real clean looking W. Coming off of a real nice clean bottom over here. So now we're just waiting for it to pop up. And even though I did buy in a little early, it does seem like probably bad timing. I think it's a pretty good play to be setting up on. I should have waited for confirmation breakout where it goes up to like 40 whatever, but I mean, there's definitely room for it to move. I was wondering what was wrong with my pattern. There, you got room to move all the way back up to about 48. So that's what I'm looking for is a nice, at least 47.50. If I can get that move from here to there, just that little tiny gap up. It doesn't even have to break the wedge and I'll be happy. But I think it should be coming out tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. What's it say? 22nd? By Friday. So you can see the cash has been flowing in, just no positive movement. So eventually it's going to push up. Right now the cash is diverging from the stock price, and eventually you're going to get that pop, and it should pop up to 50. So I would think no less than 50. Like right here, you can see this. There, let me draw this up here. See that line right there? That's back when it was at 50. See it here? It's back when it was at 50. See it here? It's above that line. So which means it should go above 50. So if we can get it back to 50, I'll be excited. I'll be happy at 48. Like yeah. I'm not going to be too greedy about it, but obviously the money's there. Stock price isn't. That's why I always follow the money.
I want it to run all the way back to 100.
Well, you don't really technically have that. I mean, to get back up to here, which is 56, you still need a lot more money to get back up there. You're not quite 56.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, here's the thing about stocks though. Over time, like usually the money runs up higher than it used to. And we're still pretty far back. If you look at where we were at some point here, I mean, there was money that came in through here and the stock price still dipped. It wasn't really supposed to do that. It did it anyways. I mean, who knows? We could be sitting way up here in value. I doubt it. But, I mean, if you look at it comparison to the past, I mean, it should be back up here to pretty close to like 68 bucks. I'm not going to say that's where it's supposed to be because you can see the 200-day moving average is pushing it down. until we cross that, there's no way we're going to get back to 70 something. So we need that little gap up there. I think there's a chance to test it. It would be nice to see a gap up, especially by Friday.
We got to change trend. Time to change trend direction, baby. Let's start moving on back up.
Once you get that breakout, you can make that test of the 200-day moving average. Once you get that break and you go to the bullish territory, yeah, we could probably see back in the 60s. So it's a win-win for me to jump in there, but I mean, time's the only thing that's going to kill it.
Can everyone that's up in the stage call go down and, if you haven't already, please go down into the live stream on YouTube and like and subscribe to the channel, also to the Mediocre Traders channel as well. Please, guys, show your support. Greatly appreciate it. The Froggystyles channel and the Mediocre channel. Thank you, guys. God bless you.
Thanks, Ms. Harris. Appreciate it.
Yep, I got that speaker finally working right, which was kind of nice. It was acting up a little bit. Let me see here. Big Ad says, "What do you think DWAC is heading?" Yeah, is that the question? I think it's going to be breaking out.
That's the one that I was reading. Weston
says, "Is that blue line support?" I think I'm not sure if he's talking about this one, but technically that's as far as you can actually move based upon volume. So the volume makes the road the size that you see. Oh, PJ Solar might be hopping on today. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, he said he might stop by to see so.
Someone said BRQS up 33%. It's ripping. It's a little stock. Look at the money flow. I mean, it's the money is just flowing. What is going on with this one? Let's see if we got news on
it. Let's look at Netflix when you're done. I'll look it up. I want to see where it's at.
Got beaten. I don't see any real news on BRQS. It rose to the top of the technology sector Tuesday. Not sure why. Let's see if there's any information on why.
Well, I think I hammered. Holy smokes.
Yeah, there's no news on it that's making it go up like that. So something's going on with it. Let me pull. I'm actually going to write that one down to keep an eye on it for now because I don't know what is making it move.
Yeah, Netflix is horrible. I know.
Yeah, it definitely stay out of that one until things get stabilized. I mean, I know somebody's going to want to like chomp at those options and try to get some easy money if it was to bounce back. But when you got 2 hits back to back and Kramer called it out as a good buy, I mean, when he says goodbye, I think he's waving goodbye. I don't think he's meaning it's a good purchase. So, because every time he calls something out as being something good, I mean, you see what happens to it. I mean, it just got slaughtered. And it was already beaten going into the open of the market. So that's another thing, too. Look at it. Earnings, after hours. A lot of people couldn't get out of their stock. And then went into the morning. And then that's the FOMO exit. So you're seeing the last of the retail and whoever else get out. So whenever you scare retail out like that, I mean, the best time to buy would have been down here at 213. And I think I did. Didn't I post the max pain on this one being like 235 or something like that? It did end up readjusting. So
I see on your top here the one. You probably can't talk. I'm just letting you know that he's up in the space call, so he probably can't talk right now. I'm just let you know he's in here supporting.
what's going on, the one? How you doing, man?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
We got puts at 220, calls at 230. So 225 right now is max pain, and it will probably readjust by the end of the day. I mean, money's moving around pretty decent. So max pain at 225. I mean, it's right where it's supposed to be. And I did check it out at lunch back when it was like, where it was lunch back here. It was like 218. I thought about getting into it because it was showing 235. Could have made easy couple bucks on it, but I mean, it's not really that safe of a play right now.
No.
So until the max pain moves or something moves on it, I mean, definitely stay out of it for at least this week. There's nothing left to be. You can get a scalp in there, but you're just playing the cycle and that's it. Let's check AMC where it's at. Oh, it decided to punch down. I didn't expect that. I mean, I do have a line here for support at 1720, but
oh, that's why.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting this trading range today. Like when it came down from way up here, which is actually outside of my resistance line, I was actually kind of surprised. It went up, punched across there, came back down, and then when it opened up down, which I knew it was coming down, I just didn't know like how far it was going to go. So I drew up these two lines here, figuring it would take a lot of movement to get there, and it did. It smashed right through that line, went back up, got stopped at it, and came back down some more. So there's usually always two dips, and you're seeing the second dip play out right now. I'm calling it for 1720, and the lowest it can go is 17. But it looks like they're buying 1750 puts, which puts the floor in. They're not going to want those puts to go into money. So, nope. 17 puts actually sold. Nope, they're still there. Never mind. I take it back. 1750 is where the puts are. 18 is where the calls are. There's not very many puts, to be honest. So I wouldn't expect it to honor that 1750 very well. So you'll probably see it go down to 17 or 1720 before bouncing. Let's take a look at GME real quick. Check its max pain. Max pain on it is between 145 and 150, so 147.5 still. And it's pretty much right there. So it's overbought right now for the 5-minute chart. So it's going to close up the day, probably cycling down, working its way back to 147.75 and establishing that support. So
I'm sorry, guys. Casey Shaw kept me up last night. Freaking guy.
It's weird that max pain is more accurate than it should be. So if I trust the max pain, it seems like it's been right where it's supposed to be, even though here it is Wednesday and max pain usually doesn't play out for the end of the week. It's actually fishing itself through daily based upon max pain. So it might be, maybe we need to get an indicator for max pain. It would probably tell you exactly where you're supposed to go.
I like your method, Froggy. I'm not going to lie. It works.
Well, I mean, you look at it. AMC, I had doubts that it was going to go lower because that's your first dip. I doubted it was going to go lower, and I'm like, there's the resistance. It looks like it's going to smash through. And Max Payne was saying it was going to go down. So I kind of figured, well, we'll see if Max Payne's right or if the chart's going to be right. And sure enough, there's your second dip. Max Payne was right again. And it's like, so far I've been able to not disprove Max Payne. The only times that we did disprove Max Payne was when the following week on a Friday had those gamma ramps on Monday, and GME and AMC end up popping up about 30+%. So next thing is probably some form of way to figure out Max Payne as an indicator. I think would be important for day trading. That would be pretty cool. If it just tell you how many dollars it's off by. Then you can just look at it like, oh, looks like it's going to move $3 based upon Max Payne. I mean, it's right there. Right where it's supposed to be. Takes the guesswork out of things. It's bringing in those puts, but it's a little too early, establishing the bear trap, which again, that goes to my funnel theory, which is either bull trap, bear trap first, and then the opposite, the inverse will happen by Thursday. We're setting up for a real nice bear trap. Max Payne will probably push us back up to 18 minus a penny or two, and that will be the week. And we'll still be in an uptrend. So
hey, Froggy, did Tesla have their earnings today?
Good question.
I think it's after hours.
It's today, but after the closing.
If you notice, Tesla got beaten pretty bad today, and it came down to the line that I picked from yesterday, and kind of surprised it actually worked out exactly there. But going into earnings, it usually sells off. People don't want to play with earnings, so they dip, and that's what's going on right now. I'm expecting no matter what they turn out, it's going to pop right back up to like 1,034 probably within 3 days. So unless the earnings are horrible, but I'm expecting positive earnings because did they open up Giga Texas? I mean, that's all it needs is any kind of production out of there would be an increase on the numbers, and it would allow them to make some money. And you can see right here, cash flow is just ripped out of it. So it could be lower in price, but there's a support point. People are actually buying it right down here to keep it from going too much lower. So I think the bottom is in. Oh yeah, look at that. Buy check mark, oversold, bad 1 hour. Pretty decent little dip on the 2 hour. It's not quite at the bottom of the range, but I mean, the lowest you can see is probably 172 or 972 to 965. But yeah, right now you're pretty much at the bottom. You can see it right there. So it's picking previous points. I think it's going to spike in the after hours. That's for sure. Let's go back over and see what. And let's check out HYMC, because yesterday when that news came in about the shared dilution stuff and all that stuff, I kind of knew the stock was going to end up dropping in price. So it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. It's going to sell off probably all of today, probably part of tomorrow. And then at some point when they're done diluting whatever and people are done being scared of like the FUD that basically came out on it, probably late Friday or mid Friday, I expect it to pop back up. So I could see it going back to 166, maybe 169. It would be nice to see it get back up to 176 or even like back up to the $2 range up here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do see it popping back up. I just don't know to where. And you can see it right there. Oversold 2 hour. I'd probably give it more time to set up and start reversing course. That orange line is trending down. So until that blue line crosses over and starts pulling that orange line back up, your trend line, I mean, I would definitely stay out of it for now or hold off on it if you're looking to get in. Because, I mean, you just crossed over that 200, and that's not a good sign. You need to start aiming back up to try to get back above it. So, again, that's your $2 range. So it's definitely a dip buy without a bottom being in there. I'm not sure. Like I said, I figured by Friday it should start turning back up to try to go back to that line. That's my guess. Probably need one more day of, probably need one more day.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's an incoming call. Give me a second. I got to turn this thing off, turn it back on.
There goes the bell.
Yep, there it goes. So AMC at 1736, down 7%, which is pretty bad. But all it's doing is establishing that bottom. And you can see that bottom is real solid. 1, 2, possibly 3 touches. It may see 1723 tomorrow. So don't be least bit surprised, but it should bounce right off of that. It could play this little game of going down to like 17, where it has done in the past. It dropped down to 17 before bouncing. So just keep in mind that it is possible to see 17, but there's a lot of support there. And with knowing that max pain is above 1750, no matter what it does tomorrow, expect Friday to be above 1750. So now there's no way they're going to let the 18s come into money. That wouldn't make sense. But if they did, you get a nice run for Monday, Tuesday. So let me check GME, see where it closed at.
Ant card says HYMC may touch $1.30 before trend up. I have to agree with you. I looked at the chart too, and I got the same information. If the 150 support level don't hold, that's where I see it going as well.
I'll have to check it out here in a second. Matt, Ant card says play max pain is to play weekly chart technical analysis. Actually, max pain's been actually giving you an idea where it's supposed to be on a daily, which it shouldn't be that accurate. But I'm actually trading by using max pain as an indicator as being overbought, oversold. So I'm using it for divergence. It seems to be more accurate than MACD, which is scary because that was supposed to be a conspiracy theory that max pain is real. And now I'm actually trading on it and I'm making money on every single trade using it. So I don't know if it's actually that accurate. It's scary.
Jake up in the space call, he has a question. Jake in the space call has a question for yourself or Mediocre Trader.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake. Floor is yours, man.
Yeah, you guys noticed all the liquidations occurring today with Amazon, which lost over 100 billion market cap, all the other ones. Any thoughts?
I didn't even know about that one.
It was like, yeah, that's over $100 billion drop on Amazon in market cap on the day.
Ouch. Yeah, that is definitely a hit. Well, usually what that means is they're pulling collateral. They need money. And if it's the big plays, wasn't Facebook in on the same pounding too? Yep, Facebook got smoked.
Yeah, it's like all large cap stocks, right? Got hit hard.
Microsoft's one of theirs. I'm trying to think. I had Google. I think it's one of theirs.
Yeah, Netflix, of course. And do you all remember when Amazon had their earnings? What happened? So they had the Rivian acquisition, which pushed their stock up, which held the entire market up. However, what we saw today was a -2. They were up 2% on earnings last year or last quarter, but they're down 2%, which is actually a significant drop for a company like Amazon. But just want to bring that up, maybe tie it into, like you said, liquidations and what they're doing for keeping their margin requirements up to par.
It almost looks like they took their money out of those plays and put it into the SPY, because if you notice, the SPY was up. Well, not today, but in the last couple of days, it's been up. So it was at 436. 3 days later, it's at 447. I mean, that takes some money to get moving, and you can see the cash flowed in. A lot of cash flowed in. So now I seen a post on Twitter today. Somebody was actually using Bitcoin as an indicator to predict direction, and they said it's actually accurate. I'm kind of wondering what the heck they mean.
I've heard that too, but I never try it because I don't know how true it is.
Yeah, I don't want to take a crypto and assume that there's some sort of relation to it, but I mean, they're trading off of Bitcoin to figure out the stock market, and I don't know. I mean, yeah.
If I were to speculate on that aspect of it, the thing that ties crypto to the stock market is the high frequency trading algorithms, because as you know, there's no a limit to how fast you can trade crypto, and they leverage up to 100% or 100 times on those assets, and same thing can be applied to stock market with high frequency algorithmic trading. So maybe they are shifting liquidity back and forth. It is speculation, but that's one channel that they could be using to move money around.
Makes sense. Yeah, you can see here's Bitcoin over 3 days, and it popped up. So the SPY ended up popping up. Now, that doesn't correlate with the other stocks that dipped today, but Bitcoin did dip today. Not very much, but it did pull back. So I'm not sure how to take that yet. I'll be paying attention to it because it does kind of make a little bit of sense. Let me see if it relates with the dollar, because the dollar usually is my indicator. So the dollar went down, which means the market should have went up, and it didn't work that way. So I don't know what that means yet. You can see the crossover on the dollar where it sold off. It should have brought the whole market up, but the market didn't go up like that. Don't know. Definitely unusual activity.
Hello, but everyone is in this space call. If you have not already liked and subscribed, please go down to the screen and like and subscribe to the Mediocre Traders channel, also the Froggy's channel. There's some guys in here every day. I just want to give props to them every single day they're in here, regardless if it's one person, two person, three person. Like, I don't need to put you on blast, Mr. Rick or Rodriguez, but you're here every day. TJ 1042, the Duck Innator 64. It's some more Sugar Kush. Always here. Thank you, Sugar Kush. The one, definitely appreciate you. And Rick Rodriguez, don't be upset. Don't be upset. But you're here every single day like clockwork. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Frog. Go ahead, Jen. I apologize. Definitely you are too. Sugar Kush, you guys rock.
Yeah, good guys, that's for sure.
Oh, and one more. He told me he was going to come today. Because he said he was over in Casey Shaw's channel. Dick_Flair. You said you were coming this afternoon when I talked to you. I said, I want to see you in Froggy's channel. Thank you for coming by and supporting. Thank you. You heard your word. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you all need to go over and harass Casey Shaw, man. Kept me up all night fucking chitty chatting because he's on a different time zone. Freaking guy. He's a good dude.
Oh, yeah. We're hitting off of this support right here, right now on HYMC. There is possibility to go down to 123 or so, but I don't know if it can or not. Yeah, we technically haven't seen the bottom yet. So there's still more movement. It could just be momentum making it look bad, but you can see consolidation right here. There's a possibility it's going to try to set up a bottom right there. And if it secures it, then it's done going down. But like I said, you still need one more day on HYMC to see if it's done dropping.
Yep. I think it's stopping there, but that's speculating.
Yeah.
But it's got a ways to go. If it falls through that support, that's what scares me. Is next support is $1.30. Did you see that?
Well, that's what he's saying. I'm seeing like 122, 123.
No, I got 130 as well.
Where are you seeing the one? Where are you pulling the 130 from?
Here, I'll show you my chart. Let me pull it up.
I want to actually appreciate Jay. I just appreciate you. I appreciate from the bottom of my heart how you support Froggy's channel and the Mediocre Trader. And you rock. So is Devin. Devin's in here every single day just as well. He's in the chat every single day. Maybe we'll give him a space call. But all y'all there in the space call, please go down into the stream. Please go into the stream. You guys go down into the stream. Doesn't matter. I need you to go down there. I need you to go down there to the push. Rick Stockgrid, Rock Reapers. I do need you to go down there. I need all y'all to support up in the space call. Go down into the channel and like Mediocre Trader and Froggystyles channel. I need you guys to do that. Thank you.
Now, are you picking your point from the right where the wedge breakout was just about the bottom? Because that would put you at 128, which is still pretty close to that same number. And it still runs across over here.
Yeah, 136-ish is what I got, but it's right after the breakup. The first front up, where it hit 150, and it pulled back into that range. So we have 128, 130 area. That's what I got. My mark is actually right at 131. But I don't even think it's going to make it there, to be honest, because I think it's going to
yeah, there's a lot of support right here.
That's what I think too. 150 hit 155 area. It's got a lot of support.
Got a lot of support sitting there, which is a good sign. It's a nutty looking wedge that you got there. It's like real drawn out. What's that? April 26th. Who knows what's going on there?
I didn't even draw my wedge in yet.
Yeah, it's still April 26th. So sometime next week, you should start seeing another attempt on breakout. I do think it's oversold. I really think it's going to pop back up and get back to that $2 range.
I'm wondering if they have a plan to bring on another
Actually
partner or something like that.
There's your fourth touch. A, B, C, fourth touch fail, and that's what it's doing, is breaking down. So that's actually doing exactly what it's supposed to do, which is, like I said, you can see there's A triangle, B, C, D. Usually D goes down because it's a failure of the fourth touch, and it usually does that. So that's exactly the AMC pattern, to be honest. It looks exactly like it. It has the same little 3 touches, failure break, and then a run down, a little W bottom, a double bounce, and then some weird spike thing. Let me pull it up. I'll show you here. I mean, there it is. 1, 2, 3. Actually, that's 1, 2, 3. Fourth touch falls down, double bottom, some goofy looking spike thing that's not normal. And then we're going to set up and do another W here. Should be a lift up, and then another W, and then a break and a run. Try to get back up there to 34. That's my thoughts. I don't even know what this line's going to. But that's the same pattern that you're seeing on HYMC. You got your A triangle up here. A, B, C, fourth touch, fail, and then it goes underneath. basically your wedge, and then it just goes down, double bottom, some goofy little spike thing. So you're seeing the exact same pattern play out. There it is. 1, 2, 3, fail, bottom. Not a very good representation of it, but still. If I use the brush, it comes in too small. Maybe I can actually thicken up that line. Let's see how thick we can get that.
You're quite the artiste, Froggy.
Yep. That's about what I'm looking at. It's the same exact pattern playing out. So once you start seeing the algorithmic patterns, they start repeating over and over. So that's the weird part. They're not supposed to be like that, but they're everywhere.
What do you think about them taking on another partner? Like, I don't know who. I'm speculating that's probably why they did what they did.
With HYMC with the dilution of shares?
Yeah, so they could do it at the money offering or something. I'm guessing that's what they're planning.
I wouldn't think they'd take on another partner just because they already got, what, 4 of them up in there, like 4 major holders.
What's the purpose then?
I don't know. I mean, needing cash is the only thing that can make sense, but they technically don't need cash that I know of. So I don't know what they're doing. It's some sort of weird move. It will come out in the long run. It's just wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
CRXT is next. Let me pull that one up.
I don't have the froggiest idea, Froggy.
Wow, something happened with that stock. It's up 43%, and it was way up there. Like twice as high. So at one point it was up 100%, looks like. I don't know why this is down here. That's not normal.
You like that, Carl? I got another one. Oh, it's coming soon. Just waiting on somebody to ask me something I don't know.
Got the wrong one. What was it again? CRXT. There we go. I wonder why my blue lines got stuck down here. That kind of messed everything up. Look at the cash flow. Tons of cash flow came in, and it came out just as quick as it went in. Stock price should technically be lower than where it started, but it's not there yet. So usually when you have less cash in there than you started with, I mean, the price should be lower than where it started at. So, but who knows what made that run up? We'll see. We'll see where it comes back down to, but it does look like it should be sitting at maybe 146. Come back down to this purple line for support. I have to see like what they did to it in the Darkpool, but look at the volume, 233 million versus the average of 32 million. So I mean, somebody was playing with it. Let me see if there's actually any news on it. CRXT.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. I got my heads in the lily pads with that one. I ain't got the froggiest idea. Nothing, Froggy? Not funny?
All you gotta do is type in the ticker and type in news and see what pops up. If there's nothing available, then it was a kind of a fluke.
I tried to cut a comedy show right there and you ignored me.
So they got a testosterone is it antidote or can't denote? I don't even know what that word is.
It's one of the ones you got to copy and paste it into Google to figure it out.
Yeah, pretty much. Positive news on their drug. That's what it is.
Why such a big pullback, though?
I don't know. Well, it's getting an overreaction is what it is. So that's what made it spike up, and then the overreaction.
Amy in the chat is asking, can she put something on puts on Netflix and Facebook? Amy in the chat is asking, can she do puts, Netflix, and Facebook?
If you was to buy in right now on a put for those, it'd be a little late to be considered chasing. It wouldn't be a safe idea. You never put puts on something with a lot of red candles because that means you're probably late to the game. Usually the best time to buy puts is whenever it's like going into earnings or it's got a lot of green candles or something like that. So, yeah, it wouldn't be a safe idea, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. Don't FOMO in. It's not good. It already had its major move. You know what I mean? People get stuck in the bottom and at the top, and that's pretty much what happens all the time. Don't be the average, you know.
Yeah, there's always going to be another setup. You just got to wait for it. I know I heard somebody today, they bought, I think it was a put on Netflix for, I think, $350, and they made like $5,000 off of it. I don't know if that's true, but that might be close. I mean, it did drop pretty bad.
Froggy GG says, hey, Froggy, any thoughts on ATER? It shows a 99% short squeeze score.
ATER. Oversold right now. I mean, it's not a bad idea for a purchase. Definitely on the 30-minute. Probably oversold on the 2-hour, which is usually what I look at. And if it gets up above $5 by Friday, you definitely want to buy in on Friday. So keep an eye on this one, because if the price makes it above 5, you probably want to be in on it. Probably buying it now wouldn't be a bad idea, and hoping it goes above 5, because then that would cause a gamma ramp for Monday, Tuesday, and you can make easy money Monday and Tuesday. But it's definitely going to be popping back up.
I'm going to read to you exactly what Dominique is asking. It says, do you think they will release the volume on AMC tomorrow? In the last few days, it was really suppressed.
I think they're going to suppress it for the rest of the week because, like I said, they're trying to honor Max Payne. So I'd expect them to play games with it for the rest of the week. Let me check out where they're at here. You can see the volume suppression right through here. Well,
So
I wouldn't say suppression. It's clearly in a wedge at this point. So until we get that volume spike, I mean, we're kind of at the mercy of the stock. You can see it's a lot lighter than it should be, but I mean, it's just, it is what it is, I guess, because
So for
eventually,
GG's answer to the question, 19.05% short percent afloat for ATER. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in on you.
oh, you're fine. Something happened with my chart. It's acting kind of weird.
Okay, I'm going to repeat what she was saying about the puts. Okay, I'm going to read it exactly how she says it. Her name is Amy. She's in the chat. She said, my question was not about puts. It was asking if you guys think it bottomed out. And is it safe to buy the stocks for a swing? Is it safe to buy the stock for a swing?
Talking about Netflix and stuff. I think the damage is already done, but there's no confirmation or bottom or guaranteed that it's finished. So, I mean, right now, with there being a lot of uncertainty, I would hold off until the bottom establishes. And it might not get it back. Just like video games, a lot of people, they stop playing video games going into summer. And just coincidentally, people are getting off of Netflix going into summer. So it's not a shocker to me that they're losing subscribers. It's just the way things work. It's seasonal, and I mean they're taking their hit. They'll make it back probably going into next winter, but they're gonna suffer that pullback for now. And they were overpriced, so it's kind of a check and balance on them. Bonnie asked, "Can the algo suppress the volume?" I think it throttles it a certain way. I think it fluctuates back and forth. Suppression, you usually won't see suppression that much until like Friday, just because like anything they do to it on Friday, they have to fix it Monday, Tuesday. That's how they create max pain. They pretty much any order that comes in for Friday, they could do whatever they want with it and then fix it Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I think like Netflix and Facebook and all them, it's too early to see. You got to kind of wait and see where it's going to go with the, wait for confirmation or something. Like it's still heading down. I'm not sure if we're hitting bottom yet, but I wouldn't get into it yet. I'm glad you grabbed Bonnie's question. That was a good one.
Just read it off.
You moved it already. I forgot what it said.
Oh. Froggy max pain for AMC 1780. It is currently $17.75, so pretty much plus or minus a quarter.
I know, Mike, I don't disagree, my friend.
I didn't know that Netflix lost something with the Disney movies. Did they get themselves in trouble or something? Something happened. I guess they lost some movies. Not allowed to show them.
I don't know. Disney's got a lot of issues going on, I guess. So Dominic says today volume was suppressed on AMC.
It seems like it was. I mean, you could see it's awful light. It's not even Friday, so something's not good. The thing that got me was the fact that SPY was up and AMC was down. Usually they move kind of together, so something weird's going on there.
Dino Mike, I like that guy.
I know, guys, we're getting a lot of dip buy opportunities with AMC, that's for sure.
Nothing wrong with that. I like dips, chips and dips.
Donick says Netflix lost subscribers. It's a dead business model. People share licenses or share passwords. That's going to be very normal with pretty much anything. So they're not going to be able to get around that. All they can do is just keep trying to pick up people. But I think it has more to do with seasonality. It's about that time of the year for people to say, hey, look, the sun's out there. Maybe we'll go play in it. And Netflix will become kind of a thing of the past until winter. So, I mean, technically puts wouldn't be too bad of an idea if it did bounce back up. But I'm just going to stay away from it. I was eyeballing it all day, trying to figure out if I can make a play on it. And that line there doesn't want to hold where it's supposed to.
Dino Mike says, good point, Froggy.
Yeah, it's just how things roll. You know, like World of Warcraft is one of the ones notorious for losing half their subscribers going into summer. So that one year, everybody was like, oh, World of Warcraft's going down the tubes. And it's like, no, summer's here. All those people that got out will be back.
Okay, here's what says Froggy. For the last month, I'm going to read how they wrote it. Froggy, for the last month, same thing at opening bell and closing bell. Retail constantly buying those dips. The needle's not moving towards the upside. What else can we do besides buying and holding?
That's one thing I did want to make a video on, was buying deep in the money calls or just not buying options at all. I think if you get rid of the out of the money options, you can actually stop giving away a premium and buy a raw stock or buy deeper in the money. So that's what we're looking at right now. I've been buying deep in the money calls to test it out. I like it. The theta decay is so nice. It's like minimal, and the moves are still more honest and true too. So, I mean, where I'm getting like 80 to 90% delta versus getting like 50% from before, and I'm only paying double the price. I mean, you're talking like an increase of, what is that, 70% of your delta, and you're losing theta instead of delta, so it's offsetting. I think it's kind of safer bet when you lose half your theta. So you might lose half as many shares, but you pick it up in delta, forces the market maker to delta hedge, and then you lose half your theta. So then theta is the one that actually kills your options. So you can actually buy, like today I was buying puts deep in the money. Usually the theta like gets you smoked, and it didn't do much of anything. I hardly noticed it. So much nicer. Maybe that's something we should probably be looking into, is deep in the money, or, you know, that whole no options May kind of thing coming up. I wanted to talk about this one here. Bonnie says, what's up with Cam? I'm going to be probably making a video. I gave Cam a chance to come up and be honest with people about why he was claiming a video is his when there's clearly an original out there. He didn't want to produce facts or proof. He thinks that this is something that he should just brush off. I got a message that came up to me saying that he was stealing other people's content and claiming it as his. And then when I put out that Volkswagen squeeze video, which is clearly not his, and he refused to come up with proof. It kind of proved that he was basically plagiarizing somebody else's stuff, claiming it was his. So he pretty much got booted off the show. I don't tolerate people being dishonest, and we had a suspicion something wasn't right, and it was brought to my attention, and I just kind of watched it for a couple weeks, and just looking at his actions, like he was targeting members, anybody with super chat. He was trying to like undercut like everything that was being done, and got caught. So now he's basically trying to lie and say that we're doing certain things that, and he's the one that left us. That's not the way it works. I have all the proof with all of his messages, and stuff like that. So he won't be back. And I recommend watching the next video I put out, because I gave him a chance to do the right thing, tell the truth, and he didn't even want to speak about it. So if you have the original content and it's truly yours, you should be able to prove it. And it shouldn't be one of them teeth pulling kind of things. And he didn't want to prove it. So I even said I would retract my statement that he was plagiarizing somebody else's stuff, and he doesn't want to prove that the content's even his. But he goes around telling other people that he's a squeeze specialist and he has all these tools, but they're all stolen. None of it's his. So it's one thing to have indicators and stuff, but I mean, he takes stuff from people and he puts it on his server and hides it there and says it's all his stuff, but he takes it from other people.
And the whole purpose of this show, and it's Froggy's show, I'm just going to be real, is to help people understand technical analysis and to just venture away from people just talking, right? Like, talk is great and everything, but if you can physically learn something from a chart, you're going to be better off. That's just my opinion. And I mean, no respect to anybody, but I believe in technical analysis, and I think it's a fundamental thing to trading. And that's just where we kind of stand with that.
Now, Sam, I was there during the Casey Shaw thing, and I seen it. And I'm not too worried about that, because that was on Casey's show, and that was with Pantheon. They were doing their own subject. And something like this was completely off topic. So I can see why they wouldn't want to talk about it at that point in time. It's more of like this show's topic is like, we're about to expose Cam for being basically a scammer and a fraud. And it got brought to my attention, and I don't want to say who told me, but I'll leave it to them to come out and, break secrecy or whatever. But like I said, it's one of the partners that's in our group that came to me and said, hey, watch out for Cam. He's doing this, this, and this. And I looked into it, and they were right. And I confirmed it by taking all this information to another partner, and they double checked it and proved that Cam was lying, that the documents aren't his. So he had a chance to respond. I gave him until yesterday at market close, and he refused. And he thinks it's like a joke that he doesn't have to tell people. But the point of this partnership is so we all check each other to make sure we're being honest. And Cam got caught by me and two other partners lying and being dishonest, so he had to go.
And Clark said, Mediocre Trader and Froggy, how many securities do you guys hold at one time?
Stocks? I don't know. Right now, most of my money's wrapped up in AMC. It's probably like 75% of my portfolio. Might be more than that. I don't know. But it's because I swing trade with a lot smaller chunk. And like, I do have other plays too, but they're nothing special. It's just like little pieces that go with it. Like I said, most of my stuff got moved into one. So
I was managing 3 securities that I was holding long term. I'm down to 2, AMC and DWAC. And my only other positions are daily positions. So I usually do 2, sometimes 3, but that's the most. So just 5. I try to keep it pretty low because you got to pay attention to what's going on.
Now, Kathy's got a good point here. She says less said the better. But the part about this movement is, like, the community gets to keep eyes on dishonest people in the group and call them out for what they are. And Cam's really slick at like how he tricks people into thinking that he's like a specialist and that all of his content is his own. So if anything, we need to be protecting people, letting them know. And in the video that I want to make, like, I want everybody to keep an eye out for these dishonest people and bring it to light instead of hiding the information. Instead of not talking about it, it should be brought up as this is who this person is. Don't trust them because they do X, Y, Z. And intentions is important. Like, if they make one mistake, you don't have to vilify them for making mistakes. People make mistakes, but he's intentionally misleading people. He had a chance to do the right thing and he intentionally just brushed it off. And then he went right into lying about it, stating that he left us. And it wasn't even like that. Like, I brought Mediocre Trader on to fill in for Cam. And then we were kind of overlapping, running both. I knew eventually I was going to get rid of Cam. Cam didn't know it was coming because I knew that his work was dishonest. And I was just letting him basically expose himself. And then I just documented everything and I got receipts for everything just to prove it so he can't say it's my word against his. So sometimes you have to let the process play out to prove it.
And I'll just say that, you know, I didn't know a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm about the community, right? I want to really help people learn charting and stuff like that. So I don't want to, I have a lot of Wolfpack followers and I appreciate them. They're good people, you know, it's not them. And Cam has a good personality. It's not that, it's the information. I don't want to, I refuse to mislead anybody. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. If I make a mistake, I'm going to say I made a mistake. And that's just how I am, because I think that the community needs to stay strong and have good people in it. That's just how I see it. You know?
Hello, guys. Hello. The one is in here. How you doing, the one? I'm trying to change the subject, guys. I hope you guys do really understand.
I appreciate it.
Let's probably deal with whatever, you know, let's probably deal with that. I'm just trying to bring some positivity in here. I love you guys. God bless all you guys. You guys rock.
Thank you, Miss Harris.
Yeah, Pantheon, I was addressing that. Like, the time and place wasn't during Casey Shaw's thing when you were putting out your talking points. So I agree with you there. That's why I was bringing it up over here. It's a totally different thing. Like, this is my thing to bring up, and that's what I was doing, was bringing it up here. But Cam does have one of them personalities that does lure people in to make it think that everything he says is true. And like the whole squeeze specialist thing, I mean, you can't read a chart for crap. And I mean, but one of the rules as being one of the partners is you don't screw people over. And like Mediocre Trader was supposed to be going on with him in the morning, and Cam was playing this little trick of, we're not going to give him the restream link until later, so then he couldn't even restream it on his channel. I'm sitting there thinking he's screwing over somebody just for a couple pennies. It doesn't make any sense. So Mediocre Trader didn't want to go over there, decided he was going to do his own thing. So then there's many different things that I can bring up. We'll probably, like I said, we'll probably put it all into one video. It's a lot of stuff, but I knew, over a week ago, that Cam was doing shady stuff. But we let him come on here because, like, his actions would actually be recorded on stream. So when the Johnwicksnipin thing happened, Cam wanted me to address it because everybody was talking about it. So I did. I made a thing about the Johnwicksnipin thing, and I tried to play neutral on the whole thing. I looked at it from both points of view. I didn't want to attack him and, you know, like that kind of stuff. I wanted to try to figure out what was going on. And people blew it out of proportion, saying that he was like fed up and done and all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't that. He was basically expressing a point, brought up talking points that we should be looking at. And that's what I said. This isn't anything near what I was told. And you could tell by watching the video, when you watch the original content, you can see what he was trying to get his point across. And so in that process, Cam was supposed to have been on with us. But for some reason, he likes to come on late and he didn't get the link. So then he got mad because he did get the link. He said he didn't get it. Then he popped on here for a second. I don't know if it was by accident or whatever. Then he hopped on or hopped off and claimed that he never got on here. Obviously, it was recorded. We seen it. We were like, that's weird. He got mad because he couldn't get in from the beginning. And that's because he didn't get on from the beginning. He just overslept or whatever his problem was. So he was being childish. So then he goes and tells people, AB Investments, that we were over here just trashing out Johnwicksnipin, which wasn't true because Johnwicksnipin actually did a shout out to me for actually being fair in covering the situation. So
and John Wick did call me out, and I meant no disrespect to John Wick. I'll say that right now on live stream. I meant no disrespect to John Wick. It wasn't like that. I never watched John Wick stuff. I never went on John Wick's channel. So, but he called me out anyways, and that's fine. But go on, Froggy. I just wanted to make sure that
my thing about this is I don't think people. They may know John Wick. What's his name? John Wick. They may know him. They may not. I don't even know if the one knows that John Wick had a challenge. But this stuff that you guys are talking about, you're going to scare out some of the people in the face card that may not know what's going on. I do understand you want to get the point across. But you and, I always tell you, Jerry, and you always go against what I say. When I say don't do this, you go the opposite. So I know you're going to go the opposite. But I always say you and Cam should talk that out. You and Mr. Cam should talk that out. You feel like you can't talk to him, and you feel like you need somebody to mediate it. Then, hey, ask the one. I mean, because the one he usually is fair. He usually is like, no, because he disagreed with me on something when I said something about that lady I told you about the Amy. So, he'll tell you, no, he disagrees. He'll tell you, yeah, he agrees. Maybe y'all should come together and talk about it. You should tell him how you feel, and let him tell you how he feels, and you tell him what you have. And if you can't come in and come agreement, have a one or somebody that can mediate this thing. Say, no, sir, you're wrong. You're totally wrong for what you did. But I'm saying, you guys, if people in the face card may not know any of this, and I don't know if you want to.
Well, the subject got brought up, and I figured I would address it.
Okay.
So, and that's what I'm doing, is addressing it.
Yeah, people were asking in the chat what was going on.
So, I know Sam got blocked out earlier, but that was because he was in somebody else's channel and he was talking about something. It was kind of disrupting what Pantheon was doing. So I figured I'd bring it over here, and then the subject got brought up. So I got to bring it up, and then we're addressing it. Because, like, Cam likes to go out there and spread misinformation on top of it. The thing is I actually have receipts and proof of everything that I'm saying. Cam's he's upset that he got caught, so he's over there lying to people. And like I said, you'll see it in the next video, because I gave him 1 day to go and provide proof. He didn't want to provide proof. So now I get to go and expose him for who he is, which is a liar. And that we booted him out on purpose because he's dishonest. We didn't boot him out because we're jealous or hateful or anything like that. He's screwing people over, and he's lying about what he's doing. He plagiarized somebody else's stuff and got caught. So he was asked, he lied, and that's pretty much it.
I don't speak to myself to anyone. I don't never injure anyone based on the conversation. So I understand you're arguing your point across. You want to get your point, and I respect that. I respect that, Jeremy. But I'm just saying, yeah, that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if you can try to keep the substance really, guys. But okay, it's your show, and you got to run how you feel is best for you. So go ahead, sir.
So in my opinion, I think that everybody in the community should be watching out for bad actors. If there's somebody out there lying and being dishonest to people, you should bring it to everybody's attention so these people can't screw anybody over. So
agreed.
Keep an eye on everybody, including me and every partner we have. Everybody should be being watched to protect the community. And I think that's the way it should be done. Just because I'll let the one speak, because he just raised his hand.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on?
So he lied to you, and he lied to everybody else that's following you. There ain't no coming back from that, man. I do the same thing. That's it. You're done. I don't want nothing to do with you because you're making everybody who's following you, they're going to think that that's going to come back on you somehow. No matter what you do, people are still going to blame, someone's going to blame you for shit. No matter, and again, you can distance yourself from it and do what you got to do and then let people decide for themselves after you show them proof and stuff. But after that, cut yourself from it. There is no mediation between the two. That's it. You're done with it, and the people that are following you don't want to be involved in any of that stuff, and you're protecting the people. You're protecting your image and protecting everybody else. I do the same thing with everybody that comes in our rooms. Anybody's got problems and issues, I'll call somebody out right out from the get-go, and you leave them up for it, let them hang themselves. That's it, which is what you did. So I commend you on that, and me, honestly, I wouldn't waste any more time trying to do anything with that person. Not worth it. Not worth your reputation, and then the people that are going to be following you that are interested in you and be a part of what you've got. You stick back to that. They're going to lose faith in what you do. So, my advice, my opinion, just me, I would do exactly what you're doing. Cut ties and move right on with it. Not worth it.
Yeah.
You don't need people like that. You got a lot of other people in this community that are really good that want to help other people, and you don't need to be involved with or have anybody else be involved with somebody that's going to try and screw people out of money. Not worth it.
Yeah, and the thing is like the source that came to me at first, and like I said, I'll let them come forward on their own because it was like a secretive source, and they told me that Cam is plagiarizing. They got proof, and it's a very respectable person that actually did it. And at first I said, I have no proof, so I can't react on it. Give me some time to look into it, and I did, and it came back that they were right, and I'm like, so now what do I do? And all I figured I'd do is build up the evidence and proof so he can't say my word against yours, you're lying. So I that's what I did was I just documented everything, and I have it all. So, and I put out the first video, which was unintentional. When I put out the Volkswagen squeeze, I didn't realize I had the original document, and then I got accused of stealing his work, and then I found out that the one I put out was the original copy and he stole it. So he basically exposed himself. And I was like, wow, you can't just make it any more obvious, because he's over there saying Teddy Zane stole it from him, doctored it up, and put it out like a month before he did. And I'm like, that don't make sense. If he doesn't have a time machine, which don't exist, that couldn't have happened. And at that point, I knew he was never going to be welcomed back on. So our next show, I never sent him an invite. And then he just kind of flipped out from there. And I said, I already warned him. I said, if you're plagiarizing or lying about stuff, I have a zero tolerance for it. You will be gone. And gave him the boot. So, and like I said, I have his messages, his actions, the things that he's saying to other people. I have it all. And even Mediocre Trader, he knows because I've been telling him everything. So it's not like it's just me trying to figure this out. I've even told Miss Harris about it all, so she knows too. Like, I let everybody know ahead of time that's behind the scenes what my actions were going to be. I told him what was going on. So everybody knew ahead of time that he was being watched for plagiarism and got caught. So it's not like I'm acting irrational, emotional, like it was already talked about. It. Mediocre Trader was already planning on stepping in for co-host before we booted him. So we knew that it was coming. It was just a matter of when. And the next thing is to warn people and let them know ahead of time that there's someone out there scamming people. And Cam is very smart. He's very slick. Even I fell for it. So it's crazy.
Look, it's the same thing. You build something up, and you got a good reputation behind it. You got people attached to it. So when someone tries to damage your reputation, and they do it out of jealousy and hate, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen. And we've got nefarious people in this community who do nefarious things and it's not right. And I already caught the one guy. I got it in writing, and one of the reasons why he won't come into our rooms, he won't reply to any of my posts. I just leave it. Everybody who follows us knows the real story. This guy pretends to be the secret police of Twitter and who can decide on what they're doing with what and whatever. But I got it right there in writing on how you lied and you tried to basically come right out and say what we were doing to this community. And we're trying to just do different things, and it just that burns me, and it still does. But the people who would come into our rooms, the people who follow us, know the truth. You know, we're here to just help other people, laugh, have a good time, to help the community, and that's it. And that's it. So people are going to get jealous of your success. They're going to want what you have, and to me, I in the past, I've even with this one particular person, I've extended my hand 2 times to them to patch things up, and each time my hand has either been slapped away or burnt away. Never again. That's it. The last straw was him going after Ape Radio and Viper, Jordan, and Hedge, and myself. And then when you're attacking the people that I'm associated with, they're my friends. They're like family to me. And then everybody else that comes into the chats, no. So it's just and you know what? And I look at it this way. I'll give Miss Harris a quote here, or not a quote, but God works in mysterious ways, and you just let people, dig their own hole and dig their own grave, and it's exactly what happened. This guy's backed into a corner, and he's by himself doing God knows what that I could care less about. I don't care. I don't really talk about it anymore, just because there's nothing more to do with it. It'll pass. But you got all your stuff. Keep it to you. Put it out there. People will see it. The people that follow you know what you're doing. We believe in you. That's all that matters. And we could see the ones that you're trying to weed out and keep away from the channel and keep away from all the other people that you don't need to be associated with that. So he's going to go ahead and probably come back out with more stuff. I would imagine it probably some point or another. But again, the truth's all there. You got all the information there, and you got the support of everybody here. So at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
And I just want to say to everybody,
it isn't going to be worth it. It's just a waste of your time. Just worry about the people that follow you and want to come in, listen to you, and be a part of your group.
this is what I want people to understand.
I told you, Jeremy, I am loyal to you. I've been with you. People don't know this. I've been with you when there was four of us, and you constantly got on here every day with 4 people. But guys like the ones trying to make it nice. You guys know I believe in talking it out, working it out. That's just me. I believe in, hey, let me see what this person got to say, that person say, and you're just totally different than me, Jeremy. Nothing wrong with that. You look at it from a man's point of view, and I look at it from let's talk this out. Let's look wrong. Let's talk it out. But I get your point. I get what you guys are saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're right. I'm saying I hear what you're saying, and I'll stand by you, Jeremy, because I know that you're not the type of person to feel. I do know that. I know that you're not the type of person to feel, and you believe in fairness. And, but still, God bless Mr. Cam. God bless him. God bless him. I'm going to say that, and I know you don't like that, the one. That's just me. So, just deal with me on that. Look me on that, the one.
So I just want to say for the community, for all of chat and everybody, that we're just going to continue on with the show and teach people about technical analysis and DD. Like, I'm not a DD guy. I do some research, but I mostly stick to technical analysis type stuff, and we're going to kind of try and go that way, and keep people learning stuff with technical analysis and all that, and get people to understand and trade better. That's our goal, really. I would think, right, Froggy? That's what we're about.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
so
it's all about information, training, helping, and that kind of stuff. And like I said, it's unfortunate that something had to come up like in the middle of the show. I thought, we had someone we could trust, and it didn't work out. So it is what it is.
So much respect to all of our people, our followers. We respect you, and that we do this for you guys because we want to help people truly. So that's what it's about. And I think we should just move on from that now, if we can. Any questions other than that stuff we can probably answer?
I'm still reading through the comments. There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
I think Miss Britt is in here from Lion Vest, Miss Bridget, definitely appreciate you. I listen to you in the Lion Vest early in the morning, and definitely appreciate you coming in here support for the Lion Vest team. Miss Bridget.
I just want to say the one in Ape Radio, we appreciate you guys. You guys do a good show over there. I respect you guys very much.
Yeah, they do good work over there.
I know the one you tired me. I was telling everybody, well, go talk to the one. Listen, one. I know you probably tired of me saying that, but if I don't say that,
I know, Dino, but the thing is, and I know exactly how he feels. This is his baby right here, and when you come attacking that, it's just not just a show. It's his integrity. It's his name. It's his pride. It's his respect. It's his word. And when you put all of that into it, and then you just get some punk that just wants to rip people off, and you're not about doing that, that's what just, it's a thorn that no matter how deep you keep picking, it just won't come out. But eventually, Froggy, I'm telling you, leave it alone, and it'll just fall out on its own. No matter how much you're upset about it, I'll talk to you later if you want on the side about it. But it's just vent when you need to vent, get it out, because that's what we're all here for too. I know you do DD and stuff, but we're all human.
I'll just
that's
say
the
this:
compassionate side of you that you should show every once in a while that people can relate to. You know what I mean? So if you feel like you got a vent by it, bro, I'm here. Call me. You can DM me. Whatever you want.
I'll just say this: there's definitely,
man, at the end of the day, for everybody, right?
yeah, because Froggy, he believes in unity with everybody. So, when people bother me, I'm going to tell you the truth. I did try to talk him out. I said, talk about it. I'm just telling you how I am the one. So, that. But, I guess Froggy wanted to do it how he had, and I respect that, how he wanted to do it. I respect how Mr. Ken wanted to do it. I just respect both ways. I hear both sides. But like I said, I've been with Jeremy from day one, so that's what my loyalty is. I know he has never told me a story. He's never fibbed to me. Never that I know that I'm aware of. Let's put it that way. And he's just not that type of person. He believes in unity and respecting everyone around him. So, hey.
Yeah, Froggy, some people are so far gone, there is no turning back. You give them a chance to reconcile and show their person of integrity. And some people are so far gone that there is no negotiating. There is no talking it out and having a mediator. There's some situations that you just can't bring them back. Those people are too far gone, and you have to let them go. And that's my opinion on that.
See, I'm not worried about the actions he takes against me. Like, he's already told his wolf pack to attack me and all kinds of stuff when he's the one that was doing wrong. I ain't worried about their actions. I'm worried about how many more people they're going to go and lie and trick and, play their games on.
And that's the thing I was trying to say is there's more than what was released, and we're trying to let it die. Like, we could have said a whole lot more, okay? And we're not. We're just going to end it right there. I think Froggy did what was right, and I stand behind Froggy and what he did, and that's that. And that's as far as I'm going to go. There's a lot more that's not released, and we're not going to release it, and Cam knows what it is. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we got lots of information. If he was smart, he would just knock it off, but he's not. He keeps doubling down and attacking more. It's like, dude, you're caught. Like, you can't even lie your way out of it. Like, he's telling people on his hidden or his secret server to attack people that he doesn't like. And they've attacked like CSI and me and other people and stuff just because they're putting out a message that they don't like. So they're attacking people as a group. And it's not all of them. There's just a few of them that are very loyal that go out and attack people in the community because they're not playing the game that they want. And I'm not cool with that at all. So, I mean, and I've already blocked every single one of those bad actors over there. And there's about at least 10 of them. That's why you haven't seen them pop up in the chat. I already made sure in the last couple of days I went over and I caught every single one of them, blocked every single one, and not one made it back in the chat.
I just want to get back to our show, Froggy's show. Froggy works hard on this show, and he does this show for you guys, okay? I'm nobody. I'm just a guy here helping, I mean, I do technical analysis and stuff like that, but this is Froggy's show, and this show is a legit show, and I got much respect for Froggy. So if we could just get back to the show and just let it die, it's not worth the conversation, I think. He said Froggy told you what happened, and that's it. There's a video on it, and that's it. I mean, we're good. So if there's any other questions, let's jump into that. And we love all you guys. We love Ape Nation. That's the whole point of the show.
Dana says, "Don't block me. I love all the content." You're actually not one of the bad wolves, so I don't have a problem with like the ones that aren't attacking. But you know, trust me, I can already tell who's bad and who's not. That's why you're not blocked. I mean, I know that you wouldn't attack people even if ordered to do so. So that's why you're still here. I took time ahead of time. I spent the last week trying to figure out who was good, who was bad. I mapped it out, and all the bad ones got blocked. So, like I said, that's why the good ones are still here. Bad ones didn't make it.
I love Jay. Jay is a good person. I love Jay. I appreciate you, Jay. I really appreciate you, Jay. I appreciate all that you do for the Mediocre channel, for Froggy channel. I appreciate everyone, everybody in the chat and in the space call. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. God bless you.
Yeah, and then there's Pantheon. He gets caught up in the middle of it by accident. He has no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
And I feel bad for Pantheon because he's like the most neutral, peaceful person out of our partnership that doesn't want any problems. And it got dropped on his lap. And I was like, you know, it's just bad luck on timing, I guess.
And I just want to send a message to AB. AB, if you want to come on this show, contact Froggy. We can set something up. I have no hard feelings against you. I just want you to know that there is something I want to share with you. So if you want to come on the show, I'd like you to come on and we'll have a conversation, you know, and I think it's good. And that's pretty much all I got to say about AB Investments.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't already stopped over and checked out Pantheon, go check out his work. One thing I like about Pantheon, he likes to look at both sides of everything. So he's fair by basically looking at pros and cons or plays devil's advocate. So you can look at both perspectives. Like I heard him talking earlier today about you want to think like a hedge fund to figure them out. It's almost exactly it. And he's brilliant, you know, like very smart guy. So
the Marine says, "Hey brothers, I was a bit disconnected from the world earlier today and lost on a swing because of it. Can you give a brief who spoke or what happened that got the market bloody today? I missed something."
That's a good question because usually I watch the dollar, and when the dollar goes up, the market goes down. But the dollar went down and the market went down. I'm thinking it has something to do with deleveraging. I'm seeing the assets that were dropping that were like the market makers and the hedge funds that are causing a lot of this mess. Their assets dropped in price drastically today. So in order to offset it, they had to lower down their liabilities. So they just pulled everything down because their assets lost value. And that's what I'm thinking was deleveraging. That's the only thing I can think that happened. Probably needed collateral. Who knows exactly what happened, but I mean, it's not normal that the dollar goes down and the market goes down.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention today. I just noticed a bunch of stuff that happened with that.
Sam says, how much do you think HYMC will dip tomorrow? I'm not sure. I mean, let me pull that one back up over here. I mean, I got a line drawn up down, like if it does not honor this line right here at the 153, there's a chance of seeing that 130 range. But it does look like it's kind of landing real nicely here, so it might bounce and then go back up. But if I remember right, that paper that came out from HYMC, said that it wasn't over or done diluting until what, Friday the 22nd. So there is a small chance that it could drop tomorrow because it's technically not done, but it'll be done once they announce it. And after that, I expect the price to probably pop back up. It usually always happens. So we'll have to see. Yeah, Netflix is probably one of the problems. That was probably somebody's asset, and they lost all that collateral for playing this little game, so they had to probably shuffle things around today.
Didn't California have a fund in that, like $220 billion with Netflix that they lost?
Ooh, that's a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. You talk about the retirement account that was over there?
That's the tweet. Some tweet I saw somebody put out that supposedly out in LA that they I guess they must have had some money in Netflix, but you know, I think everybody kind of mentioned the other day that one of the reasons I guess Netflix dropped so much is because of all the subscriptions in Russia and the Ukraine. You know, no internet, so everything was dropped big time. So you lost, you know, a couple 100,000 subscribers right there, right off the bat, once Putin pulled the plug and everything. But I think they're turning it around. They're going to start doing kind of like what Hulu's doing. So you pay, just for an example, $10 a month, you're going to get commercials or ads in between whatever. If you pay the $14 a month, again, prices are just the numbers, then you're going to get the ad-free stuff. So supposedly Netflix is going to start increasing, you know, revenue, generating revenue with the ad service and their streaming products.
Yeah, I just got something sent to me by Buckeyes. It says California pensions. Which one is it here? Hold on. U.S. pension giant to vote to replace Buffett as Berkshire chair. Boy, that would be interesting.
Don Nick says Tesla's ripping.
Earnings. Yeah, kind of figured. Let me pull that one up. I knew as long as it wasn't bad, it was going to bounce back.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it looks
That's
nice.
going to push the SPY up, so kind of as expected. I had a feeling they were going to post something positive, and that's all it was. And like I said, people usually sell off going into earnings, so there it is. It's going to pop right back up to where it started the day pretty much. It's got a lot of momentum too, so I mean right there, 1044, going to cross a resistance in the after hours, so. $42% surprise. Yikes. Yeah, it's going to be running 5% surprise on revenue. So there should be no reason why it can't get back up there to 1100. Kind of as expected. I did think about buying Tesla calls, but got distracted by a different play and forgot about it.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, I told you, I said, I think it's going to pop right back up to 10 something. And I said, because there's nothing that can be bad said about Tesla. I mean, they're opening up the other plants and their numbers are going to have to come in better. And
I'm going to
no
go look
surprise.
at this other deal we was talking about. Yeah. Still doing the same old thing.
Where it gets to, no clue, but it's definitely not coming back down to 900 or 970. Probably won't even see 1025 anytime soon, so it's going to keep ripping.
I do see our good friend Jen from Terrabull's Community and Sense Community in the chat. She's also a promoter and a supporter. I see our good friend Jen up here in the space call.
Hi,
Hey,
Jen. How are you? Miss Harris, is she going to come up and speak?
She might.
Hey guys. Hey Froggy,
what's that?
Bobby, either one.
Yeah. Okay, how you doing?
Hey.
Uptown girl, how you doing?
Hey, yeah, that's right. That's my theme song on Ape Radio. Love it. Yeah, you know, I just want to remind everyone in the room right now to try and stay positive on days like today. You know, I know it's I don't know, it isn't always easy, but instead of being upset or I guess like sad, you know, about the downward price action, to try and, I don't know, like look at it as another buying opportunity, you know? Again, I know it's like super frustrating. I mean, I get frustrated a lot of times, but you know, just keep up the good vibes and staying positive and keep buying and holding, you know, and stay away from options if you don't understand it for sure. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say. So let's go, baby.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at today as being a negative because like we're not setting a new low. So it's actually confirming that we're off the bottom. And to me, it's healthy to have a healthy pullback before you go into your next move up. So to me, it's just a dip buying opportunity. And I don't see it as being a negative. I mean, it was kind of expected. I did post max pain, and it did show that it was going to pull back to like mid 17s, and it did that. And it may finish the week out there or head back up like just shy of 18, but then it gives us more room to come out of this cycle and keep going higher. So it's basically a higher low. And anytime you get a higher low, it usually goes to a higher high following that. So, or a higher previous high. So one step at a time, we'll get there.
Exactly.
Michael's in the chat asking, can you start going over earnings in the evenings? He said, can you start going over earnings in the evenings?
Which ones? Cause I usually cover the main ones like AMC and GME. I should have probably covered Tesla. That would have made a little bit more sense because it kind of is a big one. We should probably cover more earnings just because of the fact that they are kind of important.
Yeah. I don't see why we can't. I mean, I don't want to do every single one because there's some that I don't really, you know. But anything important, I'm down to do. But if it's something that you guys want us to look up and we're not looking it up, I'm okay with looking it up.
Sam said, did you talk about the 801 in the 010? No, I haven't even got a chance to look at those. I know there was something. I didn't know it was 801. I thought it was like 003 or something that was being swapped in for 010. So I don't know much about what rules being put in place and which one's being swapped. And I'll have to look at all my incoming messages to figure out what's what. I think Tony said he was going to be looking into that stuff. So keep an eye out for one of his videos because I think if I remember right, he was talking about rules. I think he did post something about that. Let me double check just to confirm it. Maybe not. I thought he did. I could have swore he said something about he was going to be looking into the rules. Now I'm wondering who said it.
Hey, Froggy, you were right about that comeback on Tesla, man. You were dead on that one. I don't know if you looked at it or not.
Yeah, typically people are so scared of earnings they sell off. Those people that sold off will end up buying back in tomorrow morning, and it will push it higher than where it is right now. So, I mean, if it popped up to this level right now without the money that's sold off here, there's a good chance that you'll be seeing like 1060 tomorrow. I don't want to say 1100 for sure, but I mean, at least 1060 conservatively. And then we'll have to see where it settles in on a new price, but it's definitely going to be higher.
Michael Anthony wants to know if you could look up CSX and go over some earning stuff.
CSX?
Yeah.
Oh, it's popping up. Probably had something good in there. 4% surprise on estimates, and revenue is up by 3%. Nothing too wild in there, but it did react a lot. So you can see the sell-off towards the end of the day, overreaction on sell-off. It's probably going to come back down. That's another one right there. You can see the money came out of it. A lot of money came out. And it sold off towards the end of the day, and then it spiked up. So when that money comes back in and whatever this correction was gets pulled back down, you'll probably be sitting pretty close to about 35.30. And I'll just mark it here just to kind of confirm it. But you'll probably end up coming back down to about 35. Well, that didn't really. 35.80 maybe. Yeah, 35.80. My bad. Because once it goes outside this little blue line here, it usually always gets pulled right back in. And that's the previous high. It could go a little bit higher than that too, but it'll come back down just a teeny bit. It's just a.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Whenever there's
wait a minute, because you always like to know when he comes in the room. I do see our good friend Spence, the one is knowledgeable on HYMC. I see he's in the space car. I just wanted you to know he's in the space car, Jeremy. I apologize. Go ahead.
What's going on, Spence? Hey, you're supposed to send me that hat. I need that hat. What are you doing with that frog? If you want to come up and talk about the HYMC thing, I know you were probably paying attention to that all day, and I'm sure you probably got some thoughts that are probably on your mind. So if you want to come up, the floor is yours.
And I know Koba's looking forward to hearing you speak about it.
You have to fight my kid for the frog, man.
So what do you got today on HYMC? Like, what's your thoughts on the reaction of the stock?
Well, besides, sorry, it's a little windy, I'm out walking, but besides continuously seeing bar coding anytime that we should make a bullish upswing, I had trouble buying more in my dip zone today. Fidelity wouldn't process my order. It just stayed, in like a processing status, I guess. They wouldn't fill it. And when I called, they said it looks like it should be getting filled, and it just didn't go through. So I was really surprised about that. Let me get down here away from the road. I think we're getting ready to see some upside, though. I think retracement is coming in. We filled the run from, what was it, 2 something to 342. We've pretty much taken that back completely on the downside. It looks like a $1.50 range is a pretty solid bottom. There's no bad catalysts. The price of gold's expected to go up more. Silver is supposed to go up more. And the overall market, in my opinion, is pretty bullish for HYMC to begin with. You got to remember the price action when we're fighting against predatory shorts and market makers that are manipulating. You can't let that get to your head too much. You just got to try to plan your dip buys or average down if you can, because Hycroft has $198 million in cash on hand. That alone breaks any short thesis. They have more cash than debt. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to try to scoop up some more shares if I can. I'm actually going to reopen my Schwab brokerage account just because me and Elohim today had problems on Fidelity buying shares. So I need to have a side brokerage to be able to do it, even if it breaks my PFOF rule. So.
Yeah. Apparently it was Bigums that was posting about the rule thing. So I just did find that here. Sorry about that. But yeah, back to the HYMC thing. it does look like it's establishing a bottom. That letter that was sent out to the shareholders was talking about that small amount of dilution was going to end what, Friday? Is that what that letter was stating?
I think it was dated the 22nd. You know what's strange about that is some people that got that letter broker with Fidelity. I broker with Fidelity, and I did not receive anything. It's just really, really weird how that got sent out.
Well, it's weird how it's getting a reaction now before it's actually supposed to go through. And it's almost like it was meant to pull the price down, but usually when they use FUD or whatever to drive the price down, usually it pops right after. So
I'm kind of in agreement with you there. I think this letter got selectively delivered to spook retail in a way, I guess. I know shorts have increased their position and whatnot, but driving the price down right before another offering, if you have a big buyer coming in like AMC, driving the price down is kind of a good strategy for them. So,
well, it proves that they're like, because Elon, he was talking at that TED meeting about how it was making it hard by being short attacked the way he was to raise capital and to hire employees and to get loans and stuff like that. And like what they're doing is driving the price down before they could actually raise the capital, which is damaging to the business itself, which proves that the short idea is immoral, not productive in any which way. And it's obviously being abused, and being let go on by the SEC, which
I think it's corporate espionage, to be totally honest with you, at this point from what we've seen. I think these big funds and these big banks, they want their stocks to do good, and to do that, they destroy the competition.
Yeah, financial harassment.
I got a really good vibe with Diane Garrett, man. I don't think they're hyping anything. I think they really are onto something big out there. And then just all the DD I've done on the geological surveys that they've completed and just historical surveys, I think they're getting ready to really bulk up their crew, equipment. I think they're going to go full force into trying to get this commercial scale mining going. And then when they do, pretty sure the price of gold is probably going to be well over 2,000 an ounce. So
it's weird. It doesn't seem like there's very many options sitting on HYMC for some reason. I wonder if people just pick them up.
Because they got burned on Thursday, man. It's exactly what we talked about. That options chain just got loaded because everybody knew there was going to be a big breakout. Market makers came in, saw a pool of money, stole it. The no options May seems to be getting a really good response from the community. The only thing I've seen was a couple people like, options purists don't know that gamma squeeze is this and that. And it's like, no, we do know, but you're not going to get gamma squeeze with options chain manipulation nonstop. You're not going to get anything. You're just going to lose your premium.
Well, technically, I thought about that thesis of needing a gamma to create a squeeze, and that's only partially true. Look at DWAC when there was no options. You only had two choices: either buy the stock or don't. And whenever when you don't have an option, you only drive the price up. So
and it definitely did squeeze. And I'll tell you, if people would have held, which nobody went into DWAC going, "Oh, we're going to buy an HODL," it was DWAC, you know. If they would have, if the community would have been centered around that at that time, that thing probably would have went $200-300.
Oh, easy. Yeah. And that's what it was. They halted that. They perfectly timed it to drive it down. And then they opened up the option chain and then just basically took advantage of the retail. And that's how they've been doing everything. So the manipulation is in the options because they're using leverage to go and control the stock.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, you know, there's people, I hate to say this, man, but a lot of very influential people in the community that have been pushing a lot of theories lately who are probably definitely playing both sides of the AMC. And then when you come out with the theory that doesn't really cost you anything and might have a meaningful impact, you know, they had a negative response to it because they're the ones playing the ups and the downs on AMC, which whatever, if you're doing that, you're doing it. But I think if people actually want to see this thing go, people need to get in, buy the stock, stop losing their premiums, and stop giving liquidity to funds and market makers, and not just in the options chain. I think the big problem is you saw the dump in Netflix. That had a huge impact on Citadel. People need to quit using products that these big funds are invested in. They want you in Netflix.
Right.
They want you in Amazon.
That's why
Quit using
Kramer,
it.
yeah, that's why Kramer said that it's a good buy.
And that's why they hold them up. They're trying to prop them up there, you know.
Now here's the other thing. I do see the argument of the no options May thing of being like not the best idea, but it's only in a non-conservative point. Is some people want that gamma ramp and that gamma squeeze and all that stuff. But what's the safest way for the entire community to lose the least amount of money? Buying raw stock. The play was originally told to go buy and hold on the dips. They didn't say buy options. We did that on our own. And I think that's where the problem is people are doing the extra for the low greed factor, which it works, but we have to get that momentum first before you can jump out and grab the options.
Well, here's an example. On Thursday, HYMC had 50,000 open interest on 250, 20,000 on 4, and 10,000 on 750. Imagine if all of those premiums would have went to just buying shares on the buying pressure side of the stock instead of being lost in the options chain. I'm sure some people, I guess the only like caveat to this is if you exercise, if you do have calls and you decide to exercise if you're out of money, that's bullish. That's definitely a good thing. But just the idea that all the premiums, the truth of the fact is that retail is one big organism. Mm-hmm. We're not colluding. We're not doing any of that.
Right.
But a lot of retail is centered around the same stock. So when you start diluting that pool of money, that's when hedge funds started winning. When people started getting options crazy, started losing their premiums, you know, they were all pumped up. They saw Trey's big call option that he made a ton of money on. Roaring Kitty's call option, deep in the money, he made money on. But those are instances in time that happened once or twice. I noticed when the community started diluting on AMC when we were in the $40 range, people started talking about other stocks, cryptos, lots of call options, talking about hedging and all that stuff back then, and we went from $40 down to $12.95. So I think in reality, if people really want to see this happen, one, boycott any product that belongs to a company the big funds invest in. Netflix, Amazon, whatever it is, boycott the shit out of it. Excuse my language. Two, I think the no options May thing would be a big thing with premiums going straight to stock. So that takes liquidity against the market makers. And the third thing would just be to make sure you got your money out of big banks. Like big banks, payment for order flow, all that. Take away all the money that we're giving to these guys.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
Yeah. I think you're right because, you know, it comes to anything, right? If it's, you know, I don't want to say any company's names because I don't want to get in trouble, but it doesn't matter what the company is. If they're doing stuff that you disagree with, you should not be using them, right? I mean, why would you want to put your money into something that you don't believe in or whatever it may, or the way they operate their business or whatever it may be, you know? I agree. I don't really like to say boycott, but I do it a lot.
I think boycotting should be something we should definitely do. If we got somebody that's doing something bad against the community, I mean, boycott them. Teach them, starve them.
They're dependent on that money. It's for sure.
Well, everybody's all, Tesla and Twitter crazy right now too. Like, we've seen downward price action ever since this stuff with the Twitter takeover started. People are moving their money. I don't care what anybody says about, I'm never selling AMC share. At some point in time, the majority of the community has probably sold shares to get into another play.
I'm sorry, but people in the chat are asking who is the man that's speaking. His name is Spence. You can probably find him on Twitter, but they call him Froggy Stomp or Stomp Froggy. Tell them what your name is. Everybody wants to go our Spence. They're asking in the chat who's the guy talking. I do apologize for interrupting you because I'm not rude like that, but I apologize because they want to know who's the guy that's speaking. So do you mind telling the people who you are, sir?
Yeah, this is Spence, Froggy Stunks, T Spencer 322, just AMC, HYMC holder. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I think if people are jiving with what I'm saying, it's a very simple playbook. Boycott any companies that are an investment on a long position for big hedge funds and market makers like Citadel. Get away from payment for order flow brokers so you're not giving your money to Citadel. And, buy shares. The dilution and buying pressure on AMC, HYMC, and GameStop really picked up, I think, when people started pushing options a lot. I've noticed the community talking more about options in the past 3 months than any time before. I think people lost the original message on the play. Mm-hmm. The buy and hodl, and pinch the market makers where they're at. We've diluted too much and we've got too distracted.
Yeah, I think we definitely got a little distracted with other things, and they constantly try to wave new shiny objects in front of our face, and we need to kind of try to avoid that, I think, a lot of times. That's my opinion, though. There's always some new one. Hey, look over here,
It's all a distraction. Just stick with the original plan. Yeah. Buy and hope.
The original.
It's kind of like when you go out on a 3-hour tour on a boat and you get lost somewhere at sea.
Gilligan.
I've been drifting for a year.
That was a reference from last night's show.
Gilligan's, man.
If you were in the room last night.
Now, I got two things I want to bring up here. Pantheon says if you have any questions for Diane, which is the lady from Highcroft, send them over to Pantheon because he's supposed to have an interview with Diane, so that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, he said he's passing that interview on to Mass. He's going to be the producer or something.
Oh, well, that works too.
It should be a good show. I appreciate him doing it. I hope he gets it done. So if you guys got questions, send them on over to Pantheon.
And then the next question I got here is, what direction do you think Netflix will finish out in a week? Max Payne, I drew it up here on the chart. Where's my chart? I got these two purplish looking lines here, and that's going to be your range for Max Payne right now. So I expect it to finish between there. As it sits, that's where the options are, and that's pretty much it, between 220 and 230. Hold on, I'll be right back.
See, Highcroft moved 3.5%, 3.25 after hours already.
Does anybody have an idea when Musk's supposed to stop selling off or paying his taxes?
Who? I didn't hear you.
Elon Musk selling off to pay for his taxes. He's supposed to be selling off to pay his taxes. Do you know when that's supposed to stop?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. I'm my head's in the lily pads. I ain't got the froggiest idea on that one. Go ahead.
Is he selling Twitter?
No. So, about his taxes. You know how he said he was going to sell some of his shares for his taxes? But
Oh, I
we're
thought
already
he already
past
sold them
April
all.
15th. Yeah, we're past April 15th, so that had to have been done unless he filed for an extension. So I don't know.
Yeah, the reason why I asked is it could be a possible swing trade, you know, until something else big happens.
Well, usually April 15th is the deadline for your taxes, so usually it has to be done before that. And unless he filed for an extension, and I don't know how to get that information because that's personal information, so he'd have to say something, you know what I mean?
Here's a good question from Peter. It says, "Hey Froggy, what reliable site for honest news?" Just get rid of cable TV first off. That's where you start. Second thing is go to Ape Radio or Pantheon Radio. They pretty much have facts, and that's a good place to start. Now, usually I just check news and I cross-reference a lot of sources, and if it says a certain name up top, like Motley Fool or something like that, I just know to stay away from it or take it with a grain of salt. Even if you hear the news, just don't believe it until you can verify it, just because most of it's meant to deceive you anyways.
I could show you an example if you guys want to see an example. Here, I got it right here in my. This is just stock market news, you know. Oh wait, that's not it. I thought that was it. Hold on, let me see if I still have it. I saved that article because I was going to bring it up today. Oh, there it is, I think. Let me just make sure this is it.
I don't see anything popping up.
Yeah, because I didn't pop it up there yet. I'm trying. No, I lost it. All right. Anyway, I was going to bring up the FUD article about DWAC is what I was going to show you guys. I could pull it up. Let me just.
Here's a good point. Here's Roasted Caffeine says you can follow Jim Cramer on Mad Money as long as you do the opposite. That's
exactly
probably more true than it should be.
Netflix is the new Bear Stearns of the new market crash.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for Netflix. Definitely in short term.
Well, the market share got diluted massively. They had really bad PR with the weird cuties kid twerking video movie that they put out, which was definitely a no-go. And they're getting too expensive. $15.99 for 2 screens to stream, you know, what I would say is pretty limited content, while Amazon is pumping their streaming service up, getting more. They own MGM now. They've got the Bond titles. They've got most of the same cartoons, kid movies, etc. Disney Plus is wrecking house. They just don't stand a chance unless they change their game.
Yeah, and didn't they lose their deal with like Disney or something like that, to where they can't have any more of the? Was it Disney or maybe it wasn't Disney? It was the other one, Marvel. Didn't they lose something with Marvel?
Quite possibly. I've noticed Netflix had trouble getting Marvel titles on for viewing regardless before Disney Plus even kicked up. They always had like maybe for a week or two, and then it was gone, and then you can't like go back and rewatch it. So I would assume with Disney and Marvel that they're trying to consolidate their viewership to their platform. So I wouldn't doubt if you saw less Marvel movies on other streaming services.
Now, guess who actually has the rights to show off Marvel stuff? AMC. So, I mean, if Netflix ain't allowed to have it, I mean, where else are you going to get it? That's an option right there that, you know, could be AMC on demand. Because I know I was looking for Avengers on Netflix like a while back ago, and I couldn't find it. They pulled off some of the old stuff, and sometimes it's kind of nice to rewatch that stuff, and couldn't get it.
I still would like to see Disney do a deal with AMC on demand section, where part of your payment for your Stubs membership, say I would pay an extra $5 a month to be able to catch the Disney Plus titles just monthly, you know what I mean, instead of paying $65, $75 over the course of a year. Because I've noticed AMC On Demand is starting to produce more package deals with multiple movies. They have a big one up right now that's got like The Croods and a bunch of other kids movies. $3.99 rentals for the night, or like $9.99 you buy the movie right out. I don't know. I really think AMC On Demand is going to be a surprise to everyone. I have a feeling they're going to announce some type of partnership with somebody pretty soon.
Want to share that link real quick, Froggy?
Yep.
So this is kind of what I'm talking about. Let me pull this up. This happens all the time. That's not it. I got to find the page. Anyway, we'll read it from here. I'll just hit F. I was going to highlight it, but basically it says, we are short DWAC report available at this website. We believe. It starts off with "we believe." That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no factual stuff behind any of these articles. Like, all these short articles they have, and this is just one from today that I figured I'd bring up and show you. This one's on DWAC, but you know, if you go and you read it, it's on Twitter. But my point is they never come with any factual stuff. You got to be careful what, when you're getting news, even from your broker, right? Like, my news comes from my broker. So it's just crazy. That's all I wanted to say. Like,
it's interesting that they announced that they're short DWAC right when all the Twitter drama started.
Exactly.
Really
See?
to me.
Exactly. And that's only one article. There was 3 that they put out today. There's 3 of them, to be honest with you. I laugh. But what did I do with it? I have it on here, but I don't know. I was going to highlight some stuff and show you, but I lost the screen, so I don't know. But that's the moral. The moral of my point was just that they do this all the time. It's nothing new, And this is what the DOJ is supposed to be investigating, all this kind of corruptness, right? Nothing ever gets done about it.
Why would you short DWAC right before midterm elections when you know people are going to absolutely flood through social because of the election? It's going to happen. Bottom line, Trump had 89 million followers on Twitter alone.
In that photo,
many of those are flooding into truth during election time because they know if they say anything on Twitter or Facebook, they're going to get banned or shadow banned. So yeah. I would not be shorting DWAC right before midterms. That's just my opinion.
In that FUD article, they said that DWAC will never get its merger. It's never going to merge because of violations of the law and all the stuff that they have no evidence of, right? Has the SEC put out anything on it?
No evidence.
Exactly. Just garbage. But they do it all the time to drive the price down. That's how the markets work. It goes back to what we were talking about, how they move the market on the stocks they want to move, and that's what they do.
100%. DWAC, AMC, GME, Highcroft are not stocks the big funds own. They're not long on them. So they're going to do everything in their power to try to make the ones they are long on move. Their problem is they're so over leveraged now that they're not only trapped in their short positions fighting us, but now they're trapped in their inflated long positions that are losing 40, 50% a month. So I'm telling you, man, I feel it coming. I feel a big mix-up coming, and I think they're going to blow all this up right before midterms.
I think so too. Something's coming, They're propping the market up. It's ridiculous how they're doing it. We have conversations behind the scenes looking at stuff like mortgage-backed securities, what they did with the VIX, and all those bonds that they put a year's worth of bonds in there. I forget the name of the company, but which made the SPY climb up like that. It was ridiculous. They do all kinds of craziness.
Sure, thank you for waiting. You've been waiting for a long time. he has something I think he want to ask you, Jeremy or Mediocre Trader. Sure, Ray. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm at work and I got somebody in here. Y'all go ahead.
Okay.
You got Johnny who wants a question from the state.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. My only question with DWAC is it's only going to be as good as its platform because we're not sure how it's going to be set up. All we know, it could be a complete mess, and you know, so that's the only question. Like DWAC is, in my opinion, a blind gamble because we don't know how good the platform is actually going to be to use. And then the other thing I was talking about with AMC, I noticed with the AMC app and the way how it was set up, they actually did offer a deal. Like, I just recently took my children to go see the Sonic movie, and they offered to rent the first Sonic movie for like $2, you know, compared to renting it full price, which was like, hey, now they're giving bonuses. Like, if you see one movie, we'll cut you a deal on the second one, on a movie on the streaming service. And as far as Netflix and what they have to do to actually save themselves right now, I could see them doing theatrical releases and becoming a movie studio. Because if they don't evolve and move into that direction, they're going to fall behind with content and start making bigger movies. And then, you know, obviously have a theatrical release, then have it after whatever 2 or 3 months end up on their platform. And these are the things I could possibly see happening in the near future to turn these companies around.
Now, when you mean platform, what exactly do you mean as far as platform? You mean the people that's on their board?
Are you talking about DWAC?
Oh, for some reason, I'm thinking HYMC. My bad.
Oh, AMC. No. What AMC is what they were doing. Was they're offering deals that I took my children to see the Sonic 2 movie, and when I purchased the tickets, they offered me a discount on the rental of the Sonic 1 movie. So if I wanted to rent Sonic 1, I only had to pay $2 instead of $5. And which was great because now that adds incentives of, hey, now you could buy something, you know, now you're tying in buying a movie ticket to people going in and using the app and renting movies when they get home. And that's definitely the right direction. You know, in order for it to get more people to use the app, give them a discount, you know, on renting movies off of the app if they actually physically go to the movie theater and buy popcorn and whatever else and so on. So I think AMC should definitely do more incentives like that to get people to rent movies off of the app.
Yeah, what's interesting about that, Johnny, is I don't know. It's not just because I own the stock, but I feel more good about buying content from the AMC app to begin with. Mm-hmm. Because every time I look at Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything, I just sit back in my chair and I'm like, this is the stock that's given Citadel their money to short me. You know, I don't know. The AMC On Demand platform just feels good to me. It's clean. It's fun. I get that feeling like, oh, cool, the theater, this and that. It's just weird. It's a weird psychology feeling. Netflix, I quit using Netflix. It just, something about it just makes me feel dirty. I don't like it anymore. Their content got really weird.
It's true, yes. But that's why I was saying before that Netflix should evolve to a move start doing theatrical releases. Because now you can make bigger movies. You know, if they do that, now they got bigger budgets. They can actually do a theatrical release of whatever big movie that they want, and they're double dipping. And this would actually help Netflix in the long run because, you know, now they're not limited to just, you know, Korean shows or a blockbuster movie that doesn't feel like a blockbuster movie because you're watching it on TV.
You know, about DWAC too, like what you said with the platform being successful or not, I'm on it. It's pretty clean. There's still some issues with, you know, if I try to add somebody, sometimes it says account not found, but I know they're on there. They're working through that. But don't forget that DWAC is not just going to be True Social. It's going to actually be the Trump Media Technology Group. They're going to have their hands in 5 or 6 different branches of entertainment and content creation. So if they do close the deal, one, the whole thing saying that they can't close the deal because of legal issues from whoever wrote that article is kind of wild. I think they're playing on the hype from Twitter, Musk feuding with Twitter to try to push their position. You're going to have a mass influx of users before the election. If they start advertising their produced content or their new channels through the Trump Media Technology Group within the next 3 to 4 months, I actually think I'd probably see DWAC making a move up, personally, in my opinion. Not financial advice, obviously. But shorten it at this point in time, that's a pretty dangerous game to play.
No, I agree.
And then my other question is, what do you guys think of this HYMC $20 price prediction? I was reading that article today about it that was making its way around, and they're projecting $20. I like it.
I
know, right? That's what I was thinking.
But that's pretty bold for where we're sitting right now. I think the $13 price target was probably more realistic.
I'm thinking 2 years down the line. Yeah, 2, 3 years. Then we're talking. That's going to be the long hold. And unfortunately, people that if they think, unfortunately, a lot of especially new retail investors are always thinking everything's going to be a pump. Everything's a short squeeze. Everything, and basically they don't know how to hold longer than 2 weeks without stressing.
Yeah.
This is a big problem, and a lot of people have to realize that, that everything, it takes thousands of years to turn coal into a diamond. So, it's the same thing with your stocks. And unfortunately, people got in right at the GameStop short squeeze, and they think every time it's going to be like this. And, it's just...
When GameStop started and AMC started up, people got in, $1 to the $10 range. We saw $21, and then we nosedived to $5. I'm telling you, the people that are getting into these plays, you guys got to realize that these stocks are extremely, extremely volatile. So you've got to control your emotions on the way up, and you've got to calm yourself on the way down and think about where we're going to be in the long run. Part of my confidence in Hycroft is Dr. Diane Garrett. Her track record, if you guys go to LinkedIn, it's phenomenal. Like, she's all business, dude. Go to LinkedIn, look up Dr. Diane Garrett, HYMC, and read her work history, her successes that they have highlighted on there, and it'll make you feel a lot better. But HYMC sitting at $1.50 when they have $1.50 cash per share almost on hand is an absolute atrocity. There's no way you should be sitting at this price right now.
That's what I said today. I said the same exact thing. I'm like, are they freaking crazy? Then why are they sure to get this low? Like $2 and above. I'm like, all right, you hover it there, you're not going to have as much of a buy-in. But if you make this thing $1.50, man, oh my God, that's just suicide for these shorts. It's short.
Check this.
Did you guys read that story today on HYMC? Somebody was just saying the $20 price prediction on HYMC, but I came across this article just now saying, this is just ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's kind of funny. Hycroft Mining Stock News and Forecast. HYMC stock volatile as Twitter account predicts $20 share price. Ooh. I just tweeted it. You guys can read it, but it just it's kind of funny because they're saying this is a feature of retail stocks with Twitter accounts often getting more traction than Wall Street analysis. It's just like, are you kidding me? Just shaking my head here.
Well, here's the
blaming Twitter.
here's my main point on HYMC. they have at minimum, conservatively, $1 per share cash on hand right now. They have more cash than debt. Plus, they have one of the world's largest assets of gold and silver sitting in the ground, ready to go. I can't imagine it's even legal for a company who has $1 cash on hand, the stock to be valued below $1. There's just no way. That doesn't make any sense. If they have that cash, they have the money in hand, your share should be at minimum worth that. So I think what they did this week, the downward pressure we're seeing is specifically due to them blowing up the options chain. I think Thursday, we should have, the 13th or 14th, we should have ran past $3. Multiple people predicted a breakout, and they used that specifically to knock it down after the options got blown out. They took everybody's premiums, generated a massive liquidity, and then came in and shorted the crap out of the stock, which is still on the threshold list, and millions of FTDs T+35. So there's no way in my mind that this thing should be sitting where it's at now. So I'm expecting some upward movement here pretty soon.
I agree. I think it's oversold for where it's at now.
Sam is asking in the chat. He said, Jeremy, he said probably is PROG a good play at these levels?
I was just looking at it. I do like PROG as a play, but they've been very abusive towards the stock. It does look like it's breaking out now. So if tomorrow it starts above $1.05 and it stays there, I mean, you got a descending level of resistance breakout, and it does have room to move. So we're just waiting to see where it goes. But you're finally getting positive movement, and long overdue. It could be a play. I mean, it could move another 16 cents higher from where it's at if that's a confirmed breakout tomorrow. But I hate to wrap things up because it is about the time to get off here. So if you guys want to wrap it up over there, do your closings and stuff, I want to try to close it up if possible.
Thank you again, Froggy, as always. And don't worry about the other stuff. That'll sort itself out. Don't let that beat you down. And Ape Radio 7:30 for some good laughs tonight. Thank you.
Sounds good, guys.
Thanks, Edge.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, thanks for having me up to speed.
Take the one.
Much appreciated.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome to come up and speak anytime you want.
Okay, Bobby, are you going to say it, or you going to say something, Bobby, or you can go first, or you want me to go first? It's up to you.
Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate you guys, all your technical analysis, your DD, Mediocre Trader, the one. Of course, Froggy, I appreciate you, man, your integrity and everything, and keeping everybody up to breast of what's going on. And that's all I got. Hey, AMC to the moon, guys. Let's do it.
Okay, now it's my turn. Y'all know me. I'm going to get my speech. But I want to say, Jeremy, appreciate all that you do for myself and the community. Mediocre Trader, you rock. You rock. I appreciate you. Jay, definitely appreciate you. Mello is in the stream. No matter where I'm at, whose show I am, he always comes in support. Now, let me thank all these people who's in here all the time supporting, because you guys deserve it. Ape Radio, which is the one, the Hedge, Viper, Jordan, and Lady Kate. I really appreciate y'all. The one always here to support and appreciate. Mediocre Trader, AJ with the StockThatDip. And I know I'm going to put you on blast. Rick Rodriguez, Rhonda, TJ, 1042, Jake, Cova, Rick Flair, Duck MA 64, Blockbuster, Uber, Sugar Crush. We definitely appreciate you. Papa Stone Tree. Definitely appreciate you here no matter what. Eric H. Cortez, definitely appreciate you. S.U. Ray, definitely appreciate you. And Cheryl, you never say nothing, but you're in here all the time. Eighth Life, you're in here all the time, but you never say nothing. You never come up and speak along with referee. You're in here all the time. These people are in here constantly. Zombie, I'm talking about they never, I mean, every day. When Froggy come on, every single day, these guys are in here like clockwork. And I just want to say thank you guys. I definitely appreciate you. I think his name is Mark Kloster. If I'm butchering your name, please forgive me, Mark. But I see you in here every single day, along with Digital Skyline. You're in here every single day. These people support Froggy from the beginning to the end. Ever since he came on this thing. And I cannot never forget my girl. Y'all know who she is. Jen. She supports Froggy no matter what. She's always retweeting everything you do. Definitely appreciate you. Mello, definitely appreciate you down at the bottom in the chat. But everybody's up here in this stream, up in this space call, guys. I was eating an Oreo cookie. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But everybody's up here in space call. I need you to go down in the stream. I need y'all to go in the stream for real, down in this YouTube stream. I need you guys to like and subscribe and become a member of Froggystyles channel, Mediocre's channel. Let me say something. Froggy said he was going to give everyone that money indicator. He said after the squeeze. Let me tell you about the money indicator. That money indicator is what tells him how much money comes in, how much money going out. That's what he look at right now to this very single day. That money indicator also been used in the Tesla squeeze, so he's already used it before. So you guys need to become a member. I'm gonna tell you why. It's only $4.99 a month. As low as $4.99 a month. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when the squeeze happens, you guys cannot ask a question. You guys cannot say, Froggy, is it going up some more? Froggy, do you think it's gonna reach here? You can't ask that question because he's not gonna answer it because you're not a member. The stream is gonna be for members only as soon as this thing starts squeezing. Members only when it starts squeezing. So the link is in the chat. Members only. Just click on it and subscribe. That's all you have to do. Our brother PJ, he's been out, but he's gonna come back. He's taking care of some business. But I do appreciate every single person that's here every day supporting Mediocre Trader. You rock. Jay, you're the man. You know I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Froggy, appreciate all that you do. And as my son would say, and I'm sorry, Froggy, I did talk about the money indicator. I can't hold water, can I? It's okay. But everyone's in the chat, as my son would say, to all of us that keep leaving, dubs up, we out. God bless each and every one of you guys. I love you and to the moon. Go ahead, Froggy, your turn.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank the one for coming. Definitely check out Ape Radio. He does have good stuff over there. I want to thank Jen for all that she does. Definitely just being here too. It's nice to have you. Spence, he already looks like he jumped out, but I want to thank Spence for coming because he always brings a lot of knowledge, and we definitely need it, especially on HYMC. Definitely want to do a shout out to Pantheon too, because he was here earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here, but definitely check out Pantheon Radio because he does also provide good work, good guy as well. And I think that's everybody. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I want to thank everybody here in Space Call for showing up and being here. Pretty much everybody. Thank you all for being here. Mediocre, it's your turn, man.
Thank you all for coming, watching the show. We do the show for you guys, so you know what I mean? We want people to learn. We want people to kind of see what's going on with technical analysis. I want to thank Miss Harris for doing such a great job with the Space Call and everybody in the Space Call who comes to the show and all the partners who get on the show and, you know, help with the show. We appreciate everybody. And don't forget to beat that like button and subscribe button and hop on over to Froggy's channel. Do the same. And we'll see you guys later on.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming and check out this cool intro as I exit. Have a good night, guys. Peace.